Hello, my dear students. Now we see Standard 8 Science, and the unit is 3, and the title of the unit is Light. In this unit, we see about the types of mirrors, terms of spherical mirrors, real and virtual images, uses of curved mirrors, laws of reflection, types of reflection, refraction of light, and dispersion. Now we see about the mirrors. What is mirror? Mirror is an optical device with a polished surface that reflects the light falling on it. Now we see about the types of mirrors. The mirrors are classified in two types. One is plane mirror and the other one is curved mirror. The curved mirrors are classified into four types. One is spherical mirror, and then cylindrical mirror, parabolic mirror, and ellipsoidal mirror. Now we see the first type, spherical mirrors. Spherical mirror is a form of curved mirrors. It looks like a spherical surface. One side of the spherical mirror is silvered and the other side is reflected of light. Concave mirror. First one is convex mirror. Convex mirror, a spherical mirror in which the reflection of light occurs at its convex surface is called a convex mirror. The image formed by this mirror is smaller than the object. Then the next one is the concave mirror, a spherical mirror in which the reflection of light occurs at its concave surface is called a concave mirror. These mirrors magnify the object placed close to them. Now we see about the parabolic mirrors. Parabolic mirrors, it is one type of curved mirror. There is a concave reflection surface, and the surface directs the entire incident beam of light to converge at its focal point. In the same way, light rays generated by the source placed at the focal point will fall on the surface and they will be diverged in a direction which is parallel to the principal axis of the parabolic mirror, and the light rays will be reflected to travel a long distance without getting diminished. Now we see about the terms related to spherical mirrors. Center of curvature. It is the center of a sphere from which the mirror is made. It is denoted by the letter C in the ray diagrams. Next one is pole. It is the geometric center of the spherical mirror. It is denoted by the letter P. Radius of curvature, it is the distance between the center of the sphere and the vertex. It is shown by the letter R. Principal axis, the line joining the pole of the mirror and its center of curvature is called principal axis. Focus. Focus, when a beam of light is incident on a spherical mirror, the reflected rays converge at or appear to diverge from a point on a principal axis. This point is called the focus or principal focus. It is also known as the focal point. It is denoted by a letter F. Then focal length. The distance between the pole and the principal focus is called the focal length. Focal length equal to radius of curvature that is divided by 2. Now we see the numerical problem. The radius of curvature of a spherical mirror is 20 centimeter. Find its focal length. The solution is radius of curvature that is given, that is equal to 20 centimeter, The formula for the focal length f equal to radius of curvature that is divided by 2. That is r by 2 that is equal to 20 by 2. That is the answer is 10 centimeter. Then the next problem, focal length of a spherical mirror is 7 centimeter. So what is the radius of curvature? The solution is radius of curvature or equal to 2 into focal length. So 2 into 7 equal to 14 centimeter. Now we see about the images formed by spherical mirrors. Images formed by spherical mirrors are of two types. One is real image and the next one is another one is virtual image. Real images can be formed on a screen, while the virtual images cannot be formed on the screen. The characteristics of an image are determined by the location of the object. As the object gets closer to the concave mirror, the image gets larger until attaining the approximately the size of the object when it reaches the center of curvature of the mirror. As the object moves away, the image diminishes in size and gets gradually closer to the focus until it is reduced to the point at the focus when the object is at infinite distance from the mirror. Now we see about the images formed by the concave mirror. In the concave mirror, the position of the object is at infinity. The position of the image is at f, and the image size is highly diminished and point sized. Nature of the image is virtual and erect. If position of the object between the infinity and the pole means the position of the image is between the pole and f, and the image of the size is and the image size is and the image size is diminished, and the nature of the image is virtual and erect. Now we see about the image formed by the concave mirror. Here if the position of the object is at infinity, the position of the image is A at f. Image size is highly diminished and the nature of the image is real and inverted. If the position of the object is beyond C, position of the image is between the C and F, and the image size diminished, nature of the image real and inverted. If the position of the object is at C, position of the image at C, image size that is same as the object, nature of the image is real and inverted. If the position of the object is between the C and F, position of the image is beyond C, image size is magnified, nature of the image is real and inverted. So if the position of the object is at F, position of the image at infinity, image size that is highly magnified, nature of the image that is real and inverted. If the position of the object is between F and P, the position of the image is behind the mirror, image size magnified, and the nature of the image is virtual and erect. Now we see about the application of the curved mirror, that is the concave mirror. The concave mirrors are useful in the shaving mirrors, torchlights, hand mirror, and the reflecting telescopes. Now we see about the application of the convex mirror. Here the convex mirrors are used in the rear view mirror, hallway mirror, and roadside mirror. Now we see about the reflection. Bouncing back of light rays as they fall on the smooth, shiny, and polished surface is known as the reflection. The reflection between the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal is given as the law of reflection. The law of reflection are the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at point of incidence all lie in the same plane. The angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are always equal. Now we see about the types of reflection. The amount of reflection of light depends on the nature of reflecting surface of the body. Based on the nature of the surface, reflection can be classified into two types. One is regular reflection and the other one is irregular reflection. Now we see about the regular reflection. When a beam of light falls on the smooth surface, it gets reflected. After reflection, the reflected rays will be parallel to each other. Here, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection of each ray will be equal. Hence, the law of reflection is obeyed in this case, and thus a clear image is formed. This reflection is called regular reflection or specular reflection. Now we see about the regular reflection. Here the light falls on a surface, the light rays are reflected at different angles. In this case, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection of each ray are not equal. Hence, the law of reflection is not obeyed in this case, and thus the image is not clear. Such reflection is called irregular reflection or diffuse reflection. Now we see about the multiple reflection. Multiple reflection, number of images forms depends on the angle of inclination. That is, formula is 360 degree by theta minus 1. Now we see the problem. If two plane mirrors are inclined to each other at the angle of 90 degree, find the number of images formed. So the solution is angle of inclination, that is equal to 90 degree. The formula is number of images formed, that is equal to 360 degree by theta minus 1. So that is equal to 360 degree by divided by 90 degree minus 1, that is equal to 4 minus 1, that is the answer is 3. Now we see about the kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is a device which functions on the principle of multiple reflection of light to produce the numerous patterns of images. It has two or more mirrors inclined to each other. It can be designed from inexpensive materials. The colorful image patterns formed by this will be pleasing to you. This instrument is used as a toy for the children. Now we see about the periscope. It is an instrument used for viewing the bodies or ships which are over and around another body or a submarine. It is based on the principle of the law of reflection of light. It consists of a long outer case, and inside this case, mirror or prism are kept to each end inclined at the angle of 45 degree. Light coming from the distant body falls on the mirror at the top end of the periscope and gets reflected virtually downward. This light is reflected again by the second mirror and kept at the bottom so as to travel horizontally and reach the eye of the observer. The distance between the mirrors varies depending upon the purpose. Now we see about the uses of periscope. The periscope is very useful in the submarine, military, photograph and endoscopes. Now we see about the refraction of light. Bending of light rays about the normal at the point of incidence as it passes from the transparent medium to the another is called reflection of light. Here the light rays traveling from a rarer medium like air into a denser medium, a glass or water, or deviated from their straight line path. This bending of light about the normal at the point of the incidence as it passes from the transparent medium to the another is called refraction of light. When a light ray travels from the rarer medium into the denser medium, it bends towards the normal, and when it travels from the denser medium into the rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. For example, We take a glass beaker, fill it with water, and place a pencil in it. Now look at the pencil through the beaker. Does it appear straight? No. It will appear to be bent at the surface of the water. Why? Here the light rays actually travel from the water. As we saw earlier, when a light ray travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it is deviated from its straight line path. So the pencil appeared to be bent when you see it through the glass of water. Now we see about the refractive index. Refraction of light in a medium depends on the speed of light in that medium. When the speed of light in a medium is more, the bending is less. When the speed of the light is less, the bending is more. So the refractive index is also known as the absolute refractive index, and it is denoted by the Greek letter mu. Mu equal to speed of light in air, that is c, divided by speed of light in the medium, that is v. So 1 mu to equal to absolute refractive index of the second medium, that is divided by the absolute refractive index of the first medium. So that is 1 mu to equal to c divided by v2 divided by c divided by v1, or 1 mu 2 equal to v1 minus divided by v2. Now we see the problem. Speed of light in air is 3 into 10 power 8 minute per second, and the speed of the light in the medium is 2 into 10 power 8 minute per second. So find the refractive index of the medium with respect to air. So now the solution is refractive index equal to speed of light in air, that is divided by speed of light in medium. So mu equal to 3 into 10 power 8, that is divided by 2 into 10 power 8, that the answer is 1.5. So the next problem, that is refractive index of the water is 4 by 3 and the refractive index of the glass is 3 by 2. Now find the refractive index of glass with respect to the refractive index of water. Now the solution, W mu g equal to refractive index of glass, that is divided by refractive index of water. So that is equal to 3 by 2 divided by 4 by 3. So that is equal to 9 by 8. So the answer is 1.125. Now we see about the Snell's law of refraction. Refraction of light rays as they travel from one medium to the another medium obeys two laws, which are known as the Snell's law of reflection, which are the first one is the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of intersection all lie in the same plane. The second one is the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is equal to the refractive index of the medium, which is a constant. Now we see about the dispersion. Splitting of white light into its 7 constituent colors on passing through a transparent medium is known as the dispersion of light. Now we see the last one. The formation of rainbow is an example of dispersion of white light. This can be seen on the opposite side of the sun. After rainfall, large number of droplets still remain suspended in the air. When white light passes through them, it is split into 7 colors, and the dispersion of white light from a large number of droplets eventually forms a rainbow. Thank you, students.